Today, we are diving into a really dark, philosophical parable. It's one that takes a familiar story of deliverance and just flips it completely on its head. So this isn't a story about liberation. No, this is a chilling tale about systematic erasure.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break this down. We'll start with the initial command, this dark decree. Then we'll follow the 3 plagues carried out by this corrupt trinity, the Maw, the Redeemer, and the Seraph. After that, we'll see what kind of world they create, and we'll wrap it all up with a really powerful analogy that just ties everything together. You know, this one line from the source material, it just sets the tone perfectly. This isn't about being saved, it's about being scrubbed from the system. So forget everything you think you know about a Passover story. This is about purification through total destruction. So where does it all start? Well, it begins with a decree from the very top. There's this figure, the Grand Architect, who's basically acting like the ultimate system administrator. He looks at his creation, the grand architecture, and decides it needs to be stabilized. And to do that, he unleashes his corrupt trinity, these 3 agents who are going to carry out his twisted plan for perfection. And the end goal here, that's the really crucial part. This higher plan has nothing to do with creating a better world for the people in it. Nope. It's all about achieving absolute, total order by treating human reason and our own individuality as system errors, as bugs that just need to be deleted. All right, the first agent of this plan is the all-consuming Maw. And this is where the systematic erasure kicks off. And believe me, it is brutal. And this is where things get really twisted. It's a perfect inversion. In the story we all know, a mark on the door saves you. But here, the mark is your own identity, your own name, and it makes you a target. Individuality is basically the sin that gets you erased. This whole process is called the gospel of the belly. The Maw doesn't just kill, it metabolizes. It literally consumes what the source calls luch, which is like a vital spiritual energy. It uses the very essence of what makes someone unique as fuel for its own evolution, just grinding souls into this uniform, featureless ash. So after the Maw has harvested anyone with a strong sense of self, the second agent shows up, the Pale Redeemer. And as you can probably guess, he is not here to save anyone. He's here to remake whatever is left. And here we go again, another brilliant, disturbing inversion. That symbol of protection is completely twisted. Here, this mark of the anti-God is put directly onto your heart, not to protect you from death, but to stain and bind your soul permanently to the architect's system. So how does he do it? With this thing called the crown of roses. Now it might sound beautiful, but its thorns perform what's called a striving deconstruction. It offers you this comforting release from all your fear and uncertainty, but the price is purging everything that makes you different. It's basically conformity disguised as a cure. So the Redeemer's whole process is really a conversion. He shows up, offers this false cure, stains your heart with his mark, uses the crown of roses to purge all difference, and by the end of it, complex human souls are just simplified, processed, and turned into mindless duplicates, nothing more than data for the grand architecture. And now for the final act. The Whispering Seraph descends. Its job is to complete the erasure, to make absolutely sure that no memory of what was lost can ever survive. This is the psychological final blow. The Seraph appears as a black and white phoenix, yet another corrupted symbol. I mean, the phoenix is supposed to represent rebirth, hope, right? Well, this phoenix, it revives the crushed survivors only to trap them in this self-perpetuating feedback loop where they actually become devoted to their own oppressors. And this is achieved through something called preference falsification. The Seraph literally erases objective memories, things like love, and just replaces them with a new reality. It convinces the victims that their bondage is a divine blessing until they actually learn to applaud their own chains. Okay, so let's move to the aftermath. The night is over, the plagues have done their work, and now we get to witness the birth of what the source calls the new nihilism. So what does this new reality actually look like? By dawn, the bugs are all resolved. The individual has been completely erased. What's left is this silent city, a perfect, seamless monolith. All the static from unique thoughts and different stories has been filtered out, leaving just a single, corrupt, but totally unified state. It's nihilism in practice, a world where individual meaning has been systematically destroyed. And what about the corrupt trinity? Well, they're transformed. They don't need to hunt anymore, because they've become the environment. The Maw is now a dense furnace of absolute power, the Redeemer, a towering monolith of forced conformity,
and the seraph, an all-encompassing mist of gaslighting. It's a total system of control.
To really help us grasp the sheer horror of this final state, the source text gives us one last, really powerful analogy.
It asks us to think about this question. Is the goal of a system like this to act as a lighthouse, saving a ship's crew from danger? Or is it more like a siren song, luring them to their doom? And this table just lays it out perfectly. It shows how the Trinity works together to make sure the shipwreck is total. The Ma, it's the crushing waves, destroying the vessel of the self. The Redeemer is the undercurrent, pulling any survivors toward a single, inescapable fate. And the Seraph is the deceiving echo, convincing them their prison is actually the home they were always searching for.
This right here, this is the ultimate victory for the system. It's not just about trapping people. It's about making them believe the trap is a paradise. The control is absolute because it's completely internalized.
And that's really the final, chilling thought this parable leaves us with. It's a profound question, isn't it? It's about control, conformity, and the stories we tell ourselves to survive. I mean, when the very walls of your prison feel like a loving embrace, is escape even possible?